this session off to get excited with this video that gives you a snapshot of API.
Cool, so we hope you enjoyed that little video, which again, just gives you a brief introduction to what we're gonna talk about today. So before we get started with the bulk of the presentation, I did just wanna give you a little bit of background information about who API is as an organization. We were founded over 22 years ago by the 4 women you see in this picture here, who we affectionately refer to as our founding mothers, which really does set the tone of who API is as an organization. As you see here, we have the mission to deliver and design international experiences that inspire learning, enrich students, partners, and communities, and it truly has been the driving force of who we are as an organization. We send about 4,000 students abroad every year, and so we're shifting a little bit into a virtual space, which we'll talk about, but I wanted to play just a really, really brief bit of a snapshot of one of our founding mothers sharing some information about her views on where the company came from.
At API, my co-founders and I refer to ourselves as the founding mothers. And this is for a good reason. We wanted to create programs we would want our own children to go on. We keep this perspective present during all phases of development of our programming, from picking safe locations and choosing caring and compassionate resident directors to keeping our costs as low as possible while trying to include as many educational and cultural activities for our students to create full experience.
So that's just kind of a little bit of a blurb about who we are and what we were founded on in terms of the principles of who we are as an organization. So just to give you a bit of a snapshot here, kind of an overview, we're going to cover a variety of different opportunities that we have today. So we're going to focus on our study abroad experiences, which you can see a list of countries here. We're going to talk a little bit about our international internship experiences, and then we're going to talk about our virtual program. So those are kind of the 3 main areas that we're going to be discussing a little bit. But as you can see, we've got a wide range of different opportunities and placement of areas available. So let's get started.
So first, we wanted to talk about API's traditional study abroad programs because these are how API began. They're really at the heart of API, and we've been sending students abroad for more than 20 years now. We have programs in over 20 countries around the world where we partner with accredited institutional partners. And one of my favorite parts about API is our amazing global support staff. In all of our international locations, API has highly qualified and experienced staff members who are available to you throughout your entire program, whether it's on-site or even virtual. These staff members all speak English, most are locals of the host country, and they all have amazing insight into the local culture. In a traditional study abroad program, the global staff members support you from the moment you arrive in the airport through adjusting to the local culture, to adapting to your host institution, and they're available 24/7 for any emergency support.
The next opportunity we want to touch on are our on-site international internship experiences. So internship experiences for API have been around for several years now, and these are really a great area for students to get some practical, real-world life experience. It's a little bit of a different focus than a traditional study abroad experience. Our on-site internship experiences are full-time internship placements, and they're going to be conducted over a period of typically 8 weeks, oftentimes over the summer. But we do have options for as short as 6 weeks or a longer term if you're interested in something of that nature. The way the internship programs work is that each placement is tailored to individual students. So what I mean by that is we don't have a list of internships that you pick and apply for, but rather what we do is we talk to you about what kind of an experience you want to have while you're abroad, and then we go out and design and identify that internship experience for you. So it really helps us be able to place students in virtually any academic discipline and really meet the needs that you have and combine your personal and professional desires into one really cool experience. Along with the internship experience itself, you'll have access to a variety of different materials from the pre-departure side as well as once you're on site. So we're going to provide you with a lot of great support ahead of time to get you ready for your experience, some skills tests and things of that nature to get you thinking about setting goals and what you want to get out of the experience. And then once you arrive on site, we're going to provide a workplace and culture orientation to let you know what it's like to live or work in a different place. You've already looked at this a little bit before you go, but once you're there, it'll kind of all come pieced together. We're going to provide housing for you just as you would on any of our international experiences, as well as health insurance. And then once again, those amazing resident directors and global support staff that Emily just mentioned are going to be part of the internship experience for you too. They're there to help you throughout the course of the internship, to help you navigate any kind of challenges that you may be having, any communication barriers, or just to help give you insight and information about how to make the most of your experience. You're also going to have access to the API Connect platform, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But this is a really cool virtual workspace that we've designed to really enhance all of the different experiences that we have to offer. And then throughout the experience, you have internship placement oversight. So again, your staff, your resident directors are there to help you throughout the experience. And you have people at your internship placement that are there to help you as well. So you're working with professionals both on site as well as through the API program.
So next we wanted to talk about our virtual programs. And we know it's not the same as traveling internationally to study or intern abroad, but they are really an excellent way to still gain global experience, even if it's from your home. So the first virtual program that I wanted to discuss is our Global Select program. And to create this opportunity, we've collaborated with some of our top institutional partners around the world to offer a wide variety of academic opportunities. And one of the greatest features of this program is its flexibility. There are more than 2,500 courses available across disciplines, and you could take anywhere between 1 and 6 courses. There are also 6 pre-designed tracks that can help you more easily narrow down courses in your field of study. We also have 2 really exciting labs, our Innovation Lab and our Community Engagement Lab. Using the API Connect platform that Jason mentioned, you can collaborate with other students in a team of 4 to 6. In the Innovation Lab, you would work together to formulate creative business solutions to global challenges. And in the Community Engagement Lab, you'll work together to come up with an action plan for community engagement to support a community-based organization locally with a global perspective. Finally, we also have virtual global internship opportunities, and this gives you the chance to gain work experience with an international organization from home. These placements are available both part-time or full-time, so you could even do a virtual internship during your normal semester on your home campus. Placements are available across a wide variety of fields, including business, economics, marketing, and a lot more, and you would have the opportunity to earn academic credit if you would like to.
So I've mentioned it a couple of different times throughout the presentation, as well as Emily did, and that's our API Connect virtual learning space. So what the API Connect platform is the merger of technology and education. So you'll see a video playing in the bottom of the screen, and this is our colleague Matteo, who is teaching us how to speak Italian without actually saying anything. And this is an example of some of the content that you would find in the API Connect platform. It's a community space where students who are participating in our virtual experiences, but also those that are participating in our on-site experiences, have the opportunity to go to connect with one another, to connect with locals, and to engage in a variety of different cultural experiences. The benefit of the API Connect platform is that you have access to it anytime you want. So if you want to learn about a cooking class or attend an event, or see what happened in the graffiti tour in Chile, you have a lot of opportunity to visit those programs and to see those different things anytime you want. There's also live events that are hosted through the platform as well. So it's not just recorded videos, but some of our amazing cultural guides and resident directors will host live events like pub trivia night or music nights, meeting a different band in Salamanca. So there's a lot of different opportunities for students to connect in this space. This is also the place where you're going to earn your digital badges. Whether you're participating in a virtual space or an on-site program, the API Connect platform is where you're going to complete all the different activities to help you earn those digital badges, which are things that our employers are going to be looking for. It can help you showcase the skills and things that you learned during your time abroad or in a virtual space with API. So it's a great opportunity to enhance your resume, build your LinkedIn portfolio, and really, really make the most of your experience in a tangible way.
One of the most important things that we really want you to remember from this session is that API will really be there for you every step of the way. This list that you can see here highlights the many things that are included in an API program, including housing, tuition, excursions for the on-site international programs. And as you heard in the clip from one of the founding mothers, Julie, it's important to API to include as much as possible in your program so that you have the best experience possible.
We also want to mention that API does recognize the financial need of our students, and we still, even though we try to keep our costs as low as possible, we still also try to offer scholarship funding as much as we possibly can. So we provide funding in annual scholarships, approximately $500,000 per year. And so these scholarships can range anywhere from $250 to $1,000 per student, depending on the term and the cost of the program. Application process for these is that once you're accepted into an API program, you'll have access to the API scholarship application, which is on our website. And you can apply based on a lot of different factors. There's STEM scholarships, first generation student scholarships, diversity scholarships, student athlete scholarships, plus just scholarships based on where you're going. So there's a lot of different scholarships that can meet all the different needs of our students. The deadlines are listed here, but they're also available on our website as well.
So when I was an API student, one of my absolute favorite things were the cultural events that are included in the cost of the program. So during those on-site programs, you can participate in cooking classes, museum tours, or go to local sporting events. And like Jason mentioned, in the virtual programs, there are cultural events in there too, like the graffiti tour in Chile or live music events and things like that. And these are really meant to help you engage more fully in the local culture or in a different culture if you're doing a virtual program. They really help you to see things from a different perspective and learn more even about yourself and your own culture. I loved the cultural events because I could even go to places in Italy that I was learning about in my classes and see and experience these things that I was learning in real life.
Kind of going off of that as well, another benefit of an on-site experience are the excursions that you get to participate in as part of your API program. So included with every API program fee for on-site programs are different trips and excursions that are built into your program. So API is going to arrange the entrance fee, the transportation, and make sure that you're prepared to have the best experience possible during these day events that are taking place. So they're meant to help broaden your experience outside of the classroom, kind of like Emily was mentioning with the cultural events and excursions. This is another version of that. It's just maybe a little bit longer of an event. So whereas a cultural event may be a couple of hours, these are going to be day trips that you're going to take. You're going to spend a great bit of time learning about the different locations that you're visiting, why it's important, and why it's an important part of the program with this. So these are just a couple of examples that you see here of trips and excursions that are part of our semester program in Granada, Spain. But you'll get to see that there's a lot of different options in all the different locations. So you get to make the most of your experience, both in the city that you're studying in, but also a little bit outside of that as well.
So all of the API programs on site will include housing, and safety is the #1 consideration for API when selecting your accommodations. The options that you have will vary depending on the location that you choose. You could stay with a host family in a dorm or an apartment. Host families are really a great way to experience the local culture firsthand, but also some of the dorms might let you live with local students. And there's lots of options. Some provide meals, some would have kitchens. It all depends on the location that you choose and the option that you choose. All equally great experiences depending on what your goals for your experience are. And my favorite part about staying with the host family was sitting around the dinner table, practicing my Italian language skills, and really feeling like I was a part of the culture, like I was a local. So that was my favorite part of my housing experience.
I lived with the host family too, and it was one of my favorite parts as well. One of the things that I like most about the way our API programs are designed is a program that we have called API Gives Back. And API Gives Back is an initiative that we started to help our students have the opportunity to say thank you to the local communities in which they lived and learned during their time abroad. So what we've done is work with our local staff to work with local community-based organizations to find opportunities for students to contribute in a meaningful way, to say thank you to the local community for hosting them and for sharing their culture and for sharing their time with them. So typically these are single days of service that are available for students to participate in. Students do have the option typically to participate in all volunteer experiences throughout the course of their program, but this is kind of more of a single event that's meant to be an ongoing project for students to help while they're there. So we've provided some examples here. A lot of our programs the API Gives Back projects are devoted to environmental sustainability. So several of the programs you'll see, such as beautification of beach projects in Italy, preservation of salt mines or salt marshes in Spain, or working within a community mural project in Cuba, or working with an orphanage in Costa Rica. So these are just some examples of projects that are part of the API Gives Back program. But it's one of my favorite aspects of the program because it really gives students a chance to connect with locals because these are local organizations that we're working with to produce these projects.
So before we wrap up, we wanted to take a moment to address that we are doing everything possible to take the proper precautions in regards to COVID for upcoming on-site programs. As you all are well aware, this is a constantly evolving situation. So at API, we're continuing to monitor all of the news outlets and information. We're constantly working to make sure that we will only run programs when it is safe to do so and to make sure that they are as safe as possible. So just know that if you do go abroad with API, we will make sure it's a safe experience for you. And if the world does not allow or you're not comfortable, we do hope that you will take advantage of the virtual programs so that you can still find a way to have a global experience.
So with that in mind, that's all we have for you today. I'd really like to thank you very much for your attention and for being part of this presentation. I do have a couple of links here on the website. First of all, I want to draw your attention to our website that we've designed specifically for fairs, for the virtual fair season. So it's going to be apiabroad.com/fairs. So you can go there to get a lot of information and find more details about the things that Emily and I touched on today. And then also feel free to send an email to api@apiabroad.com, and any questions you might have, if you'd like to reach out to someone can get in touch with you. So we're happy to speak with you and answer any questions that you may have. But we'd really like to thank you again for being part of this today. I know it's a virtual space. I know it's a different year. We wish you all the best, and we hope that you all have a wonderful term wherever you may be. So thank you so much again for attending.
Thank you, everyone.
All right. Hi. So now if anybody wants to share their screen or unmute yourself, then that's great. And wait 1 second.
We have a couple questions already in the chat.
Okay.
Let's start with those.
And welcome to Paris. So what is it?
I'm having a quick issue with my computer. I apologize. Can you hear me now?
You're good.
There we go. Let's see here. Let me look at these questions in the chat. All right. So from Mary Eliza. Oh yeah. So we have students from all over the world and all over the country. And any of our programs, we work with universities all over the place. So we do send a lot of students from the University of Alabama, but then you'll be with other students from other places in the South, as well as California, Washington, and even as far as Hawaii. Looks like Allie has asked, do we get to choose who we live with? So it definitely depends on the program, but if you are going on a program with one of your friends, you can definitely request to do housing together. And then Lindsay has asked, if we were to go to Italy, could we travel to other countries on our own time, or is that not allowed due to COVID? So I would say everything with COVID, as you all probably know on your own campus, is changing all the time. So for the foreseeable future, we're not doing the overnight trips. And that is included in our excursions as well, but we're hoping that that changes going forward. So I would say that that would be a question definitely to ask as your trip is approaching, rather than right now while we're in the midst of COVID. Do we have any other questions, or would anybody like to talk about where they might want to study abroad? If not, I'll tell you really quick, since Lindsay asked about Italy. I was telling some students earlier today, my cousin did API's program in Florence, which is a very popular program, especially I work throughout the Southeast, and I send a lot of students to Florence. And my cousin had the most amazing time. She went with API to Florence, and this was a couple of years ago, but she was an English major, and she decided to take all of her electives while she was in Florence, and she focused on food and culture classes. And so she went into her trip in Italy, really not knowing what she wanted to do. And she was an English major. She thought she might want to write. She came out of Italy with a food blog that actually made money, decided to go and study gastronomy as her master's degree, and has now pursued basically a life of like wellness education. So she teaches about food, and she's also a yoga instructor. So her time in Florence completely changed her life, and I was so happy for her. Maria Eliza has said, how much freedom is there during the programs? Are most days strictly scheduled, or are events voluntary? Yeah, all of the excursions and social activities are voluntary. I would definitely encourage students to do them because they're a great way to connect with the students in your program as well as the local culture, but they are voluntary. And then freedom is outside of your courses. It's very similar to the, I don't know how it is at the University of Alabama. Right now, I feel like we're all limited in where we can kind of go. But it's definitely like a normal college semester. So, you know, if you want to go and do things, and you can also go and do things on the weekend. Plenty of students go and do different things on the weekends as well. Do we have any other questions? Looks like we've got a lot of people. So I'm going to type that API, I'm going to type that address again, apiabroad.com/fairs. That is the link where you can sign, if you want to sign up for additional information. And then I think Brooke, they're also going to send you their contact information as well, right? Okay, so I'll send you a follow-up email. And I have a virtual office, so if you ever want to schedule a one-on-one advising session with me, you definitely can. And I'm always happy to talk to students about study abroad. And then we'll also send you some additional information. I always just encourage students to go ahead and start the application process as soon as you know that you're interested, so that we can make sure that we connect with you and kind of help you throughout the process. And Lindsay says, does that link include the financial information? So all of the programs, so apiabroad.com, that is the website address. Let me see here. And it basically, each program has a different price, and they're listed on the different programs. But I'll go ahead and I'll send you a link when I reach out to you with a link to the website, as well as a link to my virtual office so that you can schedule anything. Oh, thanks, Brooke. Yeah, anything else?
You're welcome. I was looking over our application. It looks like most of the people that have applied for spring, which is possible, guys, have applied in Italy. We've got a few others, one in Spain, looks like one in Cuba even.
Italy is a very popular location. I actually, I did, the University of Georgia has their fair today as well. And so I did a presentation earlier. And we are going to be doing individual sessions that focus on the specific locations. So when I send you all the email, I'll include that information as well. So if you want to attend a webinar that is location specific, you can do that too.
I'm going to throw in the chat as well just an example of their program pages so y'all can see that pretty much everything is outlined there as far as credits, finances that we were talking about. Kind of gives you a good overview. So that could be helpful.
And I might actually, since here, let's see if I can, I don't know if I can add our Zoom session. Let's see here. I might be able to add, yeah, let's see. I think I can add that. There we go. All right. So I've added, that's our upcoming Zoom sessions, but I'll send that in an email as well. So you can either download it from here or I can email it. And like I said, I'm always so happy to talk to students. It's so much fun. And right now, you know, especially right now when we can't go anywhere, I mean, I feel like I wish that I could come over, and I'm based in Atlanta. I wish I could visit you all. I love coming to your campus, and I'm not sure, are you all able to walk around the campus, or is everybody joining us from home right now?
They're allowed to be out and about. I don't want to say allowed, that sounds terrible, but it is true.
Yeah.
Everything's just distant and social, and a lot of classes are done online. Lindsay, I am collecting all of y'all's information from the backside. But if you want to send me anything, I will put my email address in here as well. All right, guys, we are right up on time. So if we don't have any other last minute questions, we will call it an afternoon. Everything is recorded, so give me about a week. Next week, you'll see all of our sessions, this one and any others that you missed. We'll post on our website.
All right. Fantastic. Thanks so much, Brooke. It was
Bye,
nice
guys.
to see all of you. Have a
Good to
great
see
day.
you.
Bye.
Bye.